But the story goes a long time ago, Kisos, which is the Abenaki word for the sun, began to rise one morning, and he came a little too close to the earth and got tangled up in the top of branches of a really tall tree. He fought and fought trying to escape, but the more he fought, the more tangled he became. And unfortunately, he was unable to rise at dawn, so therefore no sun came up. The animals were very confused by this. Some didn't even notice. Those like the bobcat and the owl were happy that they had some extra hours to continue their hunt. And some of the other animals just fell right back asleep, thinking that they woke up a little too early. But as time went on, the animals began to get worried. So they decided to have a council meeting. And of course, Moccasin the eagle was first to speak, and he says, "Kisos the sun has become lost. We can't find him." And the Wasus the bear steps up and says, "I agree. We have to start searching for him." So all the birds and animals began to search for the sun. They looked in caves. They looked in deep forest. They checked the mountains, the swamplands, everywhere they looked, but the sun was nowhere to be found. Then finally, one of the animals, Mikawa, which is a small brown squirrel, he thought, hey, perhaps he got stuck in a tree somewhere. So he began to look, and he was climbing from tree to tree, and he began to go further and further east looking for the sun. And then at last, at the top of one really tall tree, he saw a slight dim of light. So he climbed up, and he saw that Kisos the sun was stuck in that tree, and he looked really weak. His light was barely shining. Kisos looked over, and he saw Mikawa and says, "Oh, little brother, please come up and help me." So Mikawa began to climb up the tall tree and chew some branches here and there, try to untangle him. But the closer he got to Kisos, the hotter he got. And the more branches he chewed, the freer Kisos got, the greater his light began to grow. And Mikawa stops and says, "I have to stop. My fur is beginning to burn. It's turning all black. It's really uncomfortable." And Kisos says, "Oh, please, little brother, please help me. Don't stop now. You're almost there." So Mikawa decides, okay, I'm going to continue the work. I got to get Kisos out of here. And he worked through the heat and he'd get closer and closer, and his light began to get brighter and brighter. And now Mikawa says, "Oh, my tail is burning away. I can't do this anymore." And Kisos begs him again, "Please keep trying. Soon I'll be free." So Mikawa continued to chew, but the light of Kisos was very bright now. And Kisos says, "Oh, my eyes are starting to burn and sting. I think I'm going blind. I have to stop soon." And Kisos says, "Oh, please, I'm almost free. Just a little more." Finally, Mikawa chewed free the last of the branches, and as soon as he did, Kisos the sun broke free and rose up into the sky, and dawn began to spread all across the dawnland. And it was a good day. All over the world, birds and animals began to get excited and they go about their business again. But little Mikawa was not happy. He was now blind from the brightness of the sun. His long tail had been burnt completely off, and what fur he had left was now all black. His skin even began to get leathery and stretch out from the heat as it clung there to the top of the branches. Now, Kisos up in the sky decided to look down and saw poor little Mikawa, and he knew that Mikawa had suffered greatly trying to save him, and he felt really bad. So he says, "Little brother, you have helped me greatly, and now I feel like I need to give you something. Is there anything that you have always wanted?" And Mikawa replies, "I've always wanted to fly, but I'm blind now, and my tail's burned away. There's no way I can fly." Kisos smiles and says, "Little brother, from now on you will be even better flyer than all of the birds. You'll be able to zig and zag and dip and dive better than any birds that you see out there. Because you came so close to me, unfortunately, my light will always be too bright for you. But you'll be able to have the best sight in the dark, and your ears will pick up all the sounds around you. Unfortunately, from this time on, you will sleep when I rise, but you'll be able to come out and do everything you need to do in the darkness." So then Mikawa, who was once a small brown squirrel, dropped from the branch, spread his new leathery wings, and took his first flight. He no longer missed his tail or his brown fur, and he knew when it was nighttime again, it would be his time to roam the skies. He could no longer look upon the sun, but he knew he would keep the sun close to his heart. This is how the sun showed his thanks to Mikawa, that once small brown little squirrel, who from that day was no longer a squirrel, but was now the first of the bats, which in Abenaki is called the leather bird, Madagenihlasak. So that's the story of how, bats came to be, and it's something that I thought was funny because we were gone for the weekend camping. We went down to Rhode Island camping, and we came home Sunday night and went to sleep, and first thing Monday morning when I wake up getting ready to go to work, there's a bat flying around our house that I had to catch, which is usually, kind of like the Three Stooges sitcom, with me trying to catch this thing and get it out of the house without hurting it. And of course, my dog is trying to jump and catch it. So, just a small story I wanted to share that came to mind after my comedic events of trying to catch one.
Oh, that's a wonderful story. Thank you so much for telling that and joining us today on Moccasin Tracks. It's really been an honor to talk to you, and hope to see you at some of these events coming up.
Yes,
Brian,
thank you for having me. I'm always grateful.
Yeah. Okay. You be well now. And see you soon. Bye.
Adios.